Well, yeah, 3 days after I got out there, I was in a car crash. Some guy drink driving, just speeding, going around the corner too quickly, went straight into a tree, and everyone else in the car was fine apart from me, the only one with my seatbelt on, bearing in mind. So I spent 2 months in hospital out there with life-threatening injuries, not just my spinal cord injury. That wasn't really an issue at that time, because I just wanted to stay alive. And then 2 months after that, I went back home and spent some time in the spinal unit in Pinderfield, which is luckily just 10 minutes from where I live in Wakefield. Did my rehab there, and then went home and started this new life in a chair.
And Aspire's involvement in your life has been what so far?
Well, I first found out about Spire when I came back to the UK, and I was in hospital there, and a lot of the people that I was meeting, even the first guy that I met, had been heavily involved with Aspire because he was unable to get back to his home, and Aspire had helped him by giving him a flat, I think it was, that was all adapted for him, so that he could actually go out into the world again, not just stay in hospital or into a care home, which I know so many people have to do because their houses aren't equipped for them. So he told me about this amazing charity that I was like, well, I don't even know about spinal cord injury, I've got one, so I didn't know there was any charities that helped you. And after knowing about them, obviously we got in touch with them, and Aspire has helped me, not by giving me a facility to live in, because luckily my house was fairly accessible and I could live downstairs in it for the interim time until my adaptations was being made. But they helped me by giving me the support and my family's support, and I mean, we didn't have a clue how to adapt a house for someone in a wheelchair, so even silly questions like where do you put the kettle, or where do you have the plugs, or how high does the sink height have to be, they were always there and always just a phone call away for us to ask those questions that you don't expect to have to answer yourself.
And we have a sporting flavour to the evening, obviously, and sports come to play a very big part in your life, hasn't it? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so sport was a massive part of my life before my accident. I just did everything at school: netball, hockey, tennis, athletics. Just got myself involved as much as I could in sport. And firstly, after my accident, I thought, well, I'm never going to be able to play sport again. But thankfully, with like Aspire's help and the inspirational people that I've met who have got spinal cord injuries and do still have like a fulfilling life, I sort of realised that, well, I can't hold myself back from the thing that I loved so much. I've got to get back involved with it. So I did, and went to my local wheelchair basketball club, started playing there. Leeds Spiders, they're not like a massive club, but there's such a nice community, and really enjoyed it, and eventually got scouted like by the GB women's team, and now I'm going to the camps with them, and I actually played my first international tournament last week against the Netherlands.
So it's a very real possibility that you'll be going to Rio in the Paralympics.
Yeah, hopefully. One day I might be the answer to one of these questions that you've got.
I'm sure anybody here, this is your great luck. And in terms of, your personality just radiates this room. I mean, you just suddenly you've captivated 700 people here who are hanging on your every word. What would you say to them about spinal cord injury and how it's possible to overcome what seems at that time to almost be the end of the world?
It is. I mean, that's your first thought. It is the end of the world. You're unable to walk again. But I mean, the charities that are out there, and Aspire especially, give you that. They just open your eyes, and you just have to feel in yourself that you can't let it stop you from doing anything. And I think that's the hardest thing. When you're in hospital and there's the possibility that you're not going to be able to go home and you're going to end up in a care home. And I was 16, and for a 16-year-old girl, so that thought of being in a care home with what I would say elderly people who don't understand what it would be like to have a spinal cord injury. That thought is just like devastating. And I know people who have been through that and who have had to go to care homes. And when something so devastating has already happened to you, the worst possible thing, the worst imaginable thing for me is to then not be able to go home and be in the comfort of your own home. And even just having the independence of your own wheelchair and it not having to be one of the ones that the NHS will give you, that's just crucial to the rehab process, and that never stops. I mean, I still say that I'm still in rehab because I'm still learning every single day about what it is like. So with the support of Aspire, you can get that step up, if you know what I mean, like to have your own wheelchair or to have a space where it's totally adapted, which just is the most important thing.
Sophie, it's just inspirational, don't you think? That doesn't just make you think, yes, I want to help.